me see. Let me move my camera around a bit. Adjust the angles and everything. Because I had to move some stuff around. This is partially going to be a work stream among everything else. Because I have a huge batch of videos to process for a community thing that Ori's doing. That will be legitimately a lot of fun, actually. But I'm tired because I spent all day cooking and trying to experiment with my cooking. And now I have to process all of this shit. Came in 2 different zip drives. That makes sense. There was a lot of videos. A lot of videos. Little clips. Extract all. Let me make sure that I have everything on the extract. You will notice a new art on the thumbnail. That's from the gloriously talented Moru, a friend of Ori's. Some of that I'm also potentially going to commission for something else along the way. It's real nice. Goddamn, that was well worth the money. I have a bigger version posted up on my Twitter account somewhere. And I can assure you, it is, in fact, an immaculate piece of work. Folder. Oreo project. This will be fun. There we go. I have all the clips. I can toss it up onto DaVinci Resolve. Although I might also take this opportunity to. No, I'm not going to download the new DaVinci Resolve. At least not the new version. I should leave that alone for now. Let me get some water. I'm kind of thirsty. Dokuro, what's up? Brother, how you doing? How are you doing on that GP versus grind? Let me tell you, I suck on that game. I'm still stuck at C on Vira. I keep on running into monsters that have actual execution. God damn. I just want to press some buttons. I want to hug them and then turn into Super Vira. But do they give me the chance to do so? They do not. They have not given me the chance to. Oh, actually, no, that's not fault. That's not completely true at all. Because usually what happens is that if I try to do an aerial a D button, an aerial D button, and land with it, and I press D again, usually they'll still be blocking, and therefore I get my Vira into super mode. And then usually sometimes I win, because Vira is really good once you get her install state in. But I've also been practicing making sure that I'm not reliant on it, so I can do a combo into the super mode, and that's also really good. Because the main thing is, I need to get used to using simplified ultra inputs with the skill button, and to dodge out certain situations with the dodge button, with the universal block button. And I don't have the muscle memory yet to use my pinky on either of those buttons, because that's where those buttons are placed. And it's very, very important to do so in this game in particular. And I don't have it yet. I don't have that muscle memory yet. So I'm stuck in blocking situations where if it's a normal fighting game, blocking is not necessarily the worst thing to do. But they have reckless. It's not reckless assault. It's rage something. The rage button. Rage attack. Which, if I'm blocking that, I get hit by that. Oh shit, it's a free combo for them. God damn it. I also should be using rage attacks a lot more often myself. I don't want to use it too often, because I don't want to go to 0 bravery, or even 1 bravery. 1 bravery feels real bad. But I'm not using it enough, especially not as a counter. You would think that the muscle memory for doing so after so much Street Fighter would exist, but it doesn't. I need to work on that. But that's fine. It's a new game. And despite some complaints that I've seen like from Metsu and others, I have fun with it. It's a fun game. I kind of want to learn. I kind of do want to put the time to learn some Grineer though, because the mobility from Grineer feels like it fits better with the stuff I practice with Bridget. But that's to see. I do not feel comfortable playing Nier, although Nier's buttons and setups are really easy. Holy shit, the cross-up setup with her doll, especially. Like, it's literally just like 236 into a 214. And then, yeah, the doll's on the other side of them, and then you have a free cross-up. That's stupid. That's stupid. That's so dumb. Well, it's not cross-up, technically, because it's the same mechanic as with Strive, where it's whichever direction you're facing to the controlling character determines on where the attack's coming from. But it's still two different areas that you need to pay attention to know which one's coming from what. That's annoying. Anyhow, let me get this DaVinci project up. Hopefully it doesn't burn through too much memory while I'm doing this, but that's a sacrifice I'm gonna have to make. Just grab all these clips, dump them in. Grab all these clips, dump them in, and then I can start stapling these together as appropriate. Oh, take out the HEIC format. I do converted that into, I believe, probably a JPEG. Let me see. Yeah, HEIC to JPEG. That's easy enough. Optimize the photo. Yeah, just some projects along the way. I will be, of course, doing a lot more longer streams in general over the next 2 weeks, hopefully. I don't think I have anything planned that will require travel. Does this come out as a JPEG? No, yes it does. Perfect. So that, put here, where did I put the folder? It was under, where is it? Is that here? Oh, here it is. Paste. There we go. But yeah, this week, hopefully a lot of heavy streams. Hopefully some collabs along the way as well. I did start the month with 2 collabs though, so I wasn't very busy and trying to schedule anything in addition to that at the end of the month. Dokuro, I know you plan to do some. I do know that you do have plans for some Versus Rising collabs. I'm all for it. I don't have any hard schedules to suggest otherwise. There's a couple other collabs that I'm hoping to be a part of, but that depends because there's a sign up for those and there's also a lot of people. But it is what it is. This. And then I wanted, instead of the background sound, because I had like my family talking in the background, I should remove the audio track outside of that. I'll link it first. I basically have to stitch these together. It's kind of annoying. Let me see which one's which. Floor. I think this is in chronological order. Oh good, these are in chronological order. That saves a lot of time. How people can't get to lobby, maybe max 4 to 5 in total. Yeah, that sounds about right. That tends to be how it has been for ArcSys games in general, right? At least that's how I'm recalling things. Just let me staple these together. Just shrink the time a little bit. I like DaVinci Resolve. It is quite flexible, easy to use, easy to understand, and surprisingly powerful is the best part. Even the freebie version is very feature-rich. Like, sure, some custom effects here and there might be nice, but hardly necessary. Hardly necessary. Alright, so that's the rough timeline. Away. There. That leaves the video. And then I just need to find, I think what I'm going to use is the Ultra Instinct sound for this particular one, just because it's really dramatic and sounds kind of like scary. And what I made is a little scary tasting. It's a little scary tasting. It also wasn't quite as good tasting as I would like it. I know what I should have done to make it taste better. If I were to do this again, I can do this much better. But what I made was Oreos with quotation marks around them for Orihime's Oreos project. Every single year she has her community make make a food challenge at the end of the year. At least it has been for the last 2 years now. And last time was certainly something. It was Kit Kats. I certainly did some Kit Kat footage for her. This one I got even more creative. Taste-wise leaves a little something to be desired though. I can definitely do better. Let me see. Ultra Instinct. Here we go. Oh, that's not what I want. Is it on the soundboard? Dun 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 dun. This is it. Let me double check the runtime on this though, because nah, this was only a few seconds. It's like a dozen seconds long. That's not good enough. There we go. 2 minutes 47 seconds long. That's what I want. Dun, dun, dun. Let me see. How do I download this? There we go. That does it. 2.6 megabyte instead. That's right. Yeah, perfect. That's the one I want. Yay! I found the files I want and need for this video project. Just a small one, but still. Toss this in. Save it and drag. Oh, that's not very long at all. I had to cut the footage a lot. Still 2 minutes long though. Just have a lot of footage. This is like oh, this is over an hour's worth of footage. How the hell did that happen? It definitely won't be that long in the end though. Jesus. Okay, I'll save that for now. Edit rest later. But let's just get to chatting. Let's see. We had 2 collabs earlier. We had the one with Skyen for the Game Awards. That was a lot of fun as always. That was over 10 days ago now, actually. Holy shit. And we had the one with Ori and Gucci 2 weeks ago as well. That was like a day or two after, like a day after, which is also fun. I'm sad to hear that Gucci's going through some personal problems that he didn't make apparent before then. I'm like, he's a colleague, but we're not that close, you know. So I don't know the personal stuff he's going through, but he's been going through some rough shit. So I'm happy. I'm least happy to give him a chance to have some fun distractions. That is. Yeah. It's always good to be of service to others, you know? What else? Excuse me. Holy shit, I'm yawning. That came out of nowhere. Face Connect recently had their new wave come out, their new generation. Face Euphoria, which is a whole isekai theme. Not cute enough girls, I guess. I feel like their designs are about what I would expect from agency VTubers nowadays, which to really catch my eye, you really need to have, I don't know. It really depends on like if there's like a cohesive theme, if there's something else that they're planning to implement to stand out. Right now, what I think is that it's going to take a lot of the talent's inherent personality to catch the attention now, which is not good or bad, because everything about why we're interested in VTubers boils down to personality anyhow, not their design. Face Connect, however, in general, Face Connect's always been a little iffy to me. They are one of the biggest indie groups, but the way that they've built themselves tend to be a little, I guess the phrase would be yabai. Mostly because of people, though. I'm not good to, like... I'm not going to mince words about it. Anybody who builds their community off of the Kiwi Farms and 4chan groups, it's not something I really want to be hanging with, you know? Just straight up. Just straight up. Her popularity with that particular sect of incels doesn't, regardless of her own merits, I just don't want to be within the blast zone for that particular demographic. That doesn't mean I don't wish Face Connect's talents well, though, especially their new wave. But their willingness to associate themselves with that particular slice of the overall community makes me wary. Beyond anything else, it's just a massive drama magnet, right? I feel like it's definitely a Faustian bargain. Straight up a Faustian bargain. But enough of that. I'm sure the girls will do fine. Face Connect, if anything, has proven that they're one of the most durable of the endemic Western agency groups by a long shot. The fact that they're still around when a whole bunch of others have collapsed since then, including a whole bunch of others that I was hoping would do better, speaks of Sakana's business acumen, or at least of their luck. But also, luck is a big part of business acumen in the first place. Being able to capitalize on circumstances given towards you. And the fact that those circumstances involve some communities that I'm not particularly a fan of is whatever. You have to do what you have to do to make sure that people under you are paid at the end of the day. That's what it does actually mean to be a leader. And I have the luxury of being able to not associate myself with unfortunate elements. I'm not answerable to anybody, and nobody's answerable to me. That's nice. You know, that is actually what freedom is. But there are some interesting talents. I think of the personality sets that I have seen during their debuts. And look it over again. Where's the list? The personality sets I saw that really caught my attention, or at least seemed particularly interesting to me. Saya's, I think Rooney. Yeah, Saya, Rooney, and maybe Amy are probably the most interesting to me, personality-wise. Design-wise, too, Saya's just kicks out of the park. Also, Ori did the logo designs for Saya and Hina, so that's always a huge win. Rooney's huge kisyunnie debut is always fun. Whether or not that's sustainable in the long term, I don't know. I feel like, especially among Western VTubers, trying to stay in character has been kind of hard for the majority of them. And there's no real demand of it in the Western audience either. But I do feel it's kind of a sadly missed opportunity. Because if you can act in a certain way and sustain that act over a long period, it makes you immediately more recognizable out of the huge crowd that is now modern VTubing than you otherwise would be. And I certainly don't go through a huge effort in doing so, mostly because there's no incentive for me to try. If I were to try to stay in character all the damn time, it would be because I have a written project that where acting a character would be a big sell for that written project. And I haven't been able to afford the attention on my writing projects for many months now. Because I don't do this full time. Obviously not. I would like to though. If given the opportunity to do VTubing full time and to do content creation on the full time, absolutely, I would definitely focus a lot on the storytelling aspects in particular, and to use my platform as a way to sell the storytelling aspect, to sell certain details, to give glimpses around the overall world building. It would be so good. I have a whole strategy planned out for that kind of shit. Which is why I really need to hustle and try to find some alternate means of just making this shit sustainable. Because if I can, it would be great. If I can make this shit sustainable, or just do something sustainable that isn't day-to-day work grind, and free up some time for creative works and mental energy as well. That's also important. Time and mental energy. Having both is a bit of a luxury, I'll be quite honest. But I'll get there. The plan is to get there eventually. Now, let me see. What else? Fighting games progress. I am now on a 3-game basis again, which I'm not completely comfortable with because I feel like focusing on 2. Well, under normal schedule, focusing on 3 games would be a huge killer because I just can't. I don't have the mental energy to be focusing on trying to improve in 3 games at once while also doing full-time work. Because improving in any skill is in fact a very laborious process, right? But over the next 2 weeks, definitely I plan to do a lot of fighting games. Street Fighter 6, Guilty Gear Strive, and of course, Versus Rising. I think one is going to have to go next month. I kind of feel the same. It's probably going to be Versus Rising, because... Under Night? Yeah, there's also Under Night to consider. God, and Tekken 8! God damn it! Oh my god, I have no idea how I'm supposed to balance all these. There's too many good fighting games coming up. I'm not as much of a fan of Under Night as I probably should be, but the most just because Under Night and Birth Clear was under delay-based netcode, so I never really bothered practicing. But I should, because its mechanics are interesting. I just need to actually find the time to figure out who really clicks with me. And I still need to do that for Versus Rising as well, because I'm not stuck with Vera. Right? I'm not completely 100% sold on Vera. I'm not part of the Vera lifestyle. I like her as a character though, and I got her premium shrimp weapon. That's always good. That's hilarious. Killing people with a giant tempura shrimp is one of the best things to do in the game. Fundamentally, it's funny as hell. I wish it kept through the cutscenes. Yeah, I get you. The job to get some supported. I fully understand. It would be the same with me once Strive has to go. Eventually, Strive will be replaced. And eventually, we'll have a new game. And eventually, I'm just going to learn the new system and try not to be the old bastards that complain about how better the previous version was. Right? We have to try to not be like that. regardless of how they change it up. But you know what I'm going to have to do though? Regardless of anything else, I know for a fact that as soon as Project L actually finally fucking gets delivered to us, fucking finally, we're going to make some hard choices. We're going to make some really hard choices. I tried to compete in multiple games in EVO. I know for a fact that if I were to compete in EVO again, I would limit myself to 2 games max. I would have to cut myself down to 2 games max, and the months prior to EVO, focus exclusively on those 2 games. It's just not worth it otherwise. And I cannot handle, like, beyond my capability of playing more than 1 game or even more than 2 games, there's the simple fact that trying to go and compete at EVO for more than 2 games is killing yourself, because that freaking convention center is so freaking huge. Like, it was just physically exhausting to be playing more than 2 games. Period. Some other like majors have their convention setups a lot better, so you're not completely worn out going from location to location. But EVO's the big one, and EVO's the one that I have to try to find time in the year for. Everything else kind of feels like a luxury in comparison to going to EVO, right? Like, I would love to go to locals, but they're not as much as a priority as making sure I have the money to go to EVO every year. And God, it's so damn hard. It's just so damn hard, so exhausting to cover that much distance by foot. By foot! It is the worst part. So as soon as Project L rolls around, we have to make some hard decisions on whether or not, which games we're feeling best at, right? Like, there is a very good scenario I'll simply stop playing Street Fighter for a while, because I'm not very good at Street Fighter, period. And I know for a fact, because I played it on location at EVO this year. We're not last year yet. At EVO this year, that I can press the buttons on Project L pretty well. Period. I know how those buttons feel. I know how crisp they are, or how mushy they are in comparison to Guilty Gear Strive. Project L is closer in game design to Strive, to Guilty Gear and Anime Fighters, than it is to Street Fighter. It has a Gatling style combo system. It has an anime style cancel system from normals to specials, and the swap out is closer to BB tag than it is to anything else. So, because of my experience with how Riot's designing the games, I definitely see myself like dual wielding Strive and Project L just because they're the closest to each other, and Practice for one sort of applies to figure out the neutral for the other. I also plan to just play as many majors as I can for Project L, assuming that my working life circumstances once that game comes out is amicable towards that goal. Amicable towards the goal of playing more fighting game majors specifically for Project L. I plan to do what I did for myself in League of Legends, and that I'm going to build as much of my career around that game as possible. Because there's something in there. I knew that there was something in there from the get-go, and in the moment I actually got to touch those controls, I was completely certain of it. It wasn't just a whim anymore. It was, I know that I'm going to be dedicating a lot of my life to this game. Not even from a business standpoint, just because I want to play it. I want to figure it out. I want to dig into its meat. But this time around, I want to actually get good at it. This time around, I want to actually be legitimately competent at the game. And unlike League, where I basically could not get a good grasp of the team dynamics and never got hired in gold. I want to play more Project L. I'm upset that people like Leffen and Apology Man and everybody else can get their hands on a demo to play against each other and we can't. That feels fundamentally unfair. And sure, they are pro players and therefore and they are de facto Riot's marketing tools right now to keep interest in Project L high as they work on the game. But there's a working demo out there, and I can't touch it, and I can't make content around it. I can't dig into the nuances, and I can't figure out the Ari combos and the Yasuo combos, and those that would be really fucking cool. And my fingers are aching for it. I want that game so bad. I want that game so damn bad. Just based off what we already have, I want that game now. And regardless of how fair it is for me to complain to write about that, what I want is what I want. I can fully understand intellectually that what they need to do now is keep the game only in the hands of a handful of people that are useful for keeping the interest high for Project L. But selfishly, I want my hands on it anyhow, regardless of what's good for the company, because I want to play and dig into the game and content. Like legitimately, I would be making daily short videos for every single character, for every single interaction, just spamming the shit out TikTok and YouTube and Instagram Reels. If I can just get my hands on it. I can just get my hands on it. And I already have dozens of ideas for how to do so. I might do that for Strive just to get into the practice of doing so. I should, actually. I should, in fact, de facto, do that for Strive. Just to get into the groove of making short form, minute-long content. Because if you want to monetize, it needs to be a minute long. It's dumb, but it is what it is. And I have script ideas for everybody. I can do breakdowns across multiple axes, taking a lot of cues from Skyend's projects, taking a lot of cues from stuff I've tried previously. It would not be hard. It would not be hard. I can basically do formats on a character by character basis, especially for new characters coming out. I should, on the lead up to Project L, I should have a body of work to make sure that I have the practice in, to make sure I like smooth out the rough edges before Project L actually starts. And for any collab opportunities, for any sponsorship or activations opportunities, I want to make sure that I have a heavy body of work to be able to point at right and say, this is what I'm capable of, let me in, god damn it, open the gates. That's what I should be doing. It occurs to me now that I should have started weeks ago, months ago maybe. Shit. Well, now I know better. The best time to do anything was yesterday, and the second best time is right now. So probably after this, I'm going to finish up the Oreo project, and then I'm going to work on drafting out a bunch of skit formats first that I can tackle on a character by character basis, and then figure out how I want to proceed on. Hopefully, something like something I can churn out like 7 clips on a Saturday and just have it all ready for the coming week, because they shouldn't be hard to script out. They're only minute-long videos. I can do that easy. I just need to make sure that they're not less than a minute, and that I don't run stuff to talk about for that duration. But like, the Guilty Gear franchise and IP is extremely well built and decades old. I can definitely do that easy. I can definitely do that for Grand Blue Versus as well. I probably should. It'll be a very good way to use my short form video channels in the first place, and to make sure that I'm algorithmically active on a daily basis. Shit, I really should. It's just a good idea. Dokuro, you should as well. You should as well. Daily content, and not like daily video game clips, because what I'm finding when I try to go through like other VTubers' short form content, I don't think gameplay does that good on short form video, except for like 1 or 2 exceptions. Like if it's something that really blows up, if it's an ongoing trend right now, the things you want to do for short form gameplay content is right now Lethal Company. It used to be Phasmo. Multiplayer shenanigans do really well, but single player games tend not to, because if you're just highlighting something that somebody else can experience, people tend not to be very enthusiastic about that, right? But what I've seen does perform well otherwise is like pre-made scripts. Yeah, Little Company shenanigans going up all entire week. Those actually have done well. Valorant shenanigans also do well. It needs to be like a top 10 game, basically, or like something with a huge community on its own to do well. Fighting game clips, I'm finding don't do well. RPG clips, single player in general is probably the wrong approach to take for short form video, because it needs to be something unique that they cannot experience on their own in order to have any algorithmic traction whatsoever. And story clips just don't do that. Like, either your reactions have to be absurdly good or just absurdly like catchy on first impression, or whatever results from the clip itself is inherently really funny and also emergently funny is the thing. So that's what I'm finding from my research into the matter. That's why I'm going to try to implement all my own content. Either has to be informative, that it's information that it's easy to digest, and they would rather watch TikTok than go to the wiki, which is excellent for me. You know, if I am to, combo videos aren't necessarily the best thing to do, because combo videos are what I consider like intermediate abstraction. Like, watching a combo video doesn't necessarily impart why things are difficult, why a combo is good, why that is a good way to play things out. And it's really hard to explain that without going into in-depth like tutorial on thinking your way through fighting games. And the majority of TikTok watchers, YouTube Shorts watchers, are not fighting game folks. If they have any interest in fighting games whatsoever, it tends to be on a more casual basis, right? So instead, it needs to be casual-friendly information. What's her name? The Rabbit VTuber that did a lot of Guilty Gear stuff actually has a pretty good approach for like distilling basic information down to something that can be read and like it can be understood by beginners too, or at least like beginning intermediates or beginning players in general for Strive. She hasn't done anything in content in a while, but honestly, I'm not familiar with what her life situation is like, so I don't know how difficult it is to keep things up for her. What else? But yeah, I now have a pretty good idea of what I need to do to make sure that I have Riot's attention once Project L actually is ready for the rest of its content creators, and not just the S tier stuff. Like, I totally get it. I totally understand why Riot has chosen the tack that they have chosen. If I were in their position, I might even agree with it. I might even agree with the strategy that they have undertaken to keep community interest high and to build legitimacy all around the project. Because if they can get Leffen to be cheering on the project, then obviously that's a good way to build reputation and build credentials. But selfishly, from a purely selfish perspective, I'm really upset that I don't have access to the Project L beta, or the alpha even, if they want to call something that polished an alpha build. I am upset, I am angry, I am frustrated, and I understand that it's not logical or reasonable, and I don't care. I want it. Wah. I'm a baby. Feed me Project L. If you clip that, I won't be too mad, actually. That'd be pretty funny. Okay, so apparently there was something. Man, Lifer, I just mentioned Project L. Thanks to everyone who called Boba on Sunset, watch Faker win worlds, planted puff caps on your opponents. Penton Fury flex the perfect headliner. If you were able to take Evo worlds, you may have even been able to cut the moon hand with Project L. So you mentioned Project L. Please give us actual information. Please. Also, by the way, Ben Forbes, the social media lead for Project L, mentioned that they need somebody to make social media videos. It's the same strategy they undertook with Valorant's launch. Okay, that's cool. I could do that easily. I have a lot of experience making corporate-friendly short-form videos, for better or for worse. I won't say how, because it doxes me if I explain the details on that. But I have a lot of applicable experience with that, which is experience I should be utilizing on my own channels. But honestly, it's just that I burn out so easily when making short-form videos. it, let me make it clear that I have a lot of fun actually messing around with DaVinci Resolve. When I'm actively working on those projects, it's a lot of fun to do them, but you can get tired having a lot of fun. It's not as if it energizes me at the end of the day to be tinkering around on DaVinci Resolve and making like a short form video, right? Because it takes mental energy to make those scripts, it takes mental energy to do the voiceovers, and then it takes mental energy to figure out like which effects I want to make it look a little snazzier. None of this is particularly like energizing for me. It's labor. It's labor. It's great labor. It's fulfilling labor, but still labor at the end of the day. And I work really hard as it is. At least I try to work really hard, because when I don't work hard, things kind of blow up in my face. And I don't like touching hot ovens more than once. You know, hot stoves. The analogy of stoves. I don't like accidentally touching the hot stove more than once. You know. So I've been working my ass off recently to make sure that I don't get fired. And shit, man, that doesn't leave me with much for myself. I need to find a better balance. This sucks. I want to do more, especially for my own self. And I just haven't been able to, because I'm trying to keep myself alive out there. You know? Trying to keep myself alive. But yeah. That's basically where I am right now. I want to once again highlight the thumbnail I used for this channel. The art by Moru is amazing. Please commission her. She does great work. If you have a new model in the works, she does rigging and model work as well. She's done a bunch for mutual friends of ours. That'll be a lot of fun. I will probably have a major project with her working soon. First, I need to talk with my V Mama to get some of the details down. But I can't talk to the Nagi yet because Nagi has been busy with the big Indonesian convention, Nakama Furo. So I'm going to wait a few days and she sells in after that. And then I'll talk to her again to make sure that our project is on pace. I don't know if I'll have it done before my next anniversary event, but I'm kind of hoping I can. I already have some adjacent projects in the works for that as well that I've been saving up a lot of money for. A lot of money. A whole lot of money. I have saved up a whole lot of money. And I plan to burn all at once. Man, this is an expensive hobby. All my hobbies are fucking expensive. Jesus Christ. Well, no. Fighting games are not expensive. Fighting games are, by definition, poverty hobbies. For better or for worse. Once I get this done, though, maybe I should commission some. Also, oh, I should see if Moru's art can work for the snack box. That would be really nice if it could. I'll look into it. Oh, be able to use a custom art on that snack box would be so good. I think I might be able to do it. I'll have to look up. There's a template I can use. It'll be easy. It'll be easy. I'll figure it out. But that's been pretty much enough for the Zatsu this week, though. I didn't have that much to talk about, except to expect some stuff over the holidays and to expect a lot more longer streams, because I can afford to stream a lot more now. It's a 2-week break to do whatever the hell I want, and what the hell I want to do is play a lot of fighting games. I'll also be working on some stuff in the background that I will not talk about until it's done, because I have learned the hard way, as I have with many things. The hard way is usually the best way to learn. Well, not the best way to learn, but the most reliable way to learn. That the more I talk about something, the less likely it's actually going to happen. So I'm going to force myself to not talk about the things in the background until they are ready to be talked about. And they will be ready to be talked about when they are ready to launch. As it goes. But I will have a schedule worked out hopefully soon. I'm still waiting on word for a couple of potential collabs. Oh, actually, no. Here, I have some more information. Doesn't she have emotes on this one? How am I supposed to respond if I don't use native emotes? Give me a second, I need to find the right email set. Whatever, I'll just use this. Okay, so very likely I will have the collab on Friday, December 29th. Once I get confirmation from everybody else involved, I will announce it officially. But for now, that will be the day that I'm looking at for potential collabs. That will be fun. That will be fun. I fully plan to have some of that flipped out. Yeah. Sounds great. Works for me indeed. And there may be some more as well. I did indicate my willingness for a bunch of other stuff. But the one on the 29th is the one that I'm most likely going to be in. It's a bunch of people I have not interacted with before as well. So this is great networking. Honestly, I love projects like this simply because it gives me a chance to meet more new, interesting folks. And even though my introverted ass hates going out of the house, I do try to force myself to do these things because I know that's ultimately good for me and good for my psyche, good for my social circles. It's the one thing I do not want to do. I'm old enough now to know better. I don't want to isolate myself. That always sucks. Always sucks. But yeah, that's all for now. I'll have the schedule up as soon as possible. Remember to follow me on Twitter, Blue Skies, and Threads, and of course on Twitch and YouTube. The schedule is going to be basically, well, I have to talk to family first to see if we have anything planned. But the schedule will be very, very intensely fighting game related. So I desperately want to get out of mediocrity, man. I desperately want to be out of that mediocrity range. We all sort of want to do. But the difference between wanting to get out of mediocrity and getting out of mediocrity is putting in the dedicated effort, you know? A structured approach and effort to getting better. It doesn't necessarily matter how it's structured. It doesn't necessarily matter what technique you're using, as long as you're actively doing it on a reliable habit-forming basis. That's the most important bit. And I just haven't really had the opportunity to do so, and I cannot get my mind focused in the right for the right duration. I'm also planning to pick up some guitar though, so guitar lessons that is. So that may or may not affect how things play out. We'll see. It's a whole bunch of stuff in the air right now. But yeah, lots of stuff planned. It will be fun. And as always, my friends, I'll see you later and eat well.